Good evening. Welcome to the July 7th Matador Township meeting. Would everybody stand and please join me in the pledge and flag of our country?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we have the minutes from the June 16th meeting.
I'll move that we suspend the reading of the minutes and approve them as written.
Second.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Mr. Pettit,
Yes.
Mr. McClure. Yes. Okay. Move right into department reports. Matador Township Fire and EMS Chief John Heath.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Total incidents for the year as of today, 1,078, averaging 5.73 calls per day, which is starting to steadily increase every day. Mutually received were 5, and mutually given was 6. Most of the 5 were for auto accidents, multi-vehicle accidents. 4th of July fireworks and parade were a success. Engine 50 is back from repair and in service. On the 3rd, while we were at the 4th of July fireworks, we did have a significant water leak. That surf road came out and mitigated for us. So I'm in the process with the fiscal officer out. I'm in the process of getting a hold of the insurance to let them know what's going on since we had to wait for the holiday. Other than that, any questions for me?
Anybody have anything for John?
If we do have to do some drywall work, just let me know and we'll move forward with
Yeah,
that.
they said there's a little bit of moisture. We're gonna wait to see if we need to tear it out or
Okay.
I did contact for carpet. It looks like the carpet probably will need replaced. It was definitely had a good inch of standing water on it. But I'll wait for insurance to see what they decide as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Take that stuff.
I'll walk around one way.
Road and Cemetery, Don O'Connor.
Good evening.
Evening.
The Arthur Road ditch project, we got it completed, ditch, straw, seeded. It's dried it out. I'd like to thank Deputy Baldwin for being there to help us with traffic control. It definitely helped a lot. We got the tree removed from the corner of Collier and Fairfield Pike. Came out pretty easy, actually. So we got that done. We're getting the Old Mill Road project located. And we're in the process now trying to mow behind the guardrails, get that all whacked down and get it sprayed. We've also mowed the Dayton Road property down for McDonald's. That was exciting.
I bet.
It's hard to believe it's a mess.
I got a call on that the day you mowed it.
There's some lady out there taking pictures of it after we mowed it. I don't know who she was.
That's probably it, because I said, it should be mowed.
Yeah, I don't know
And then
who
she went down and
was.
called me back and said, it's done.
Yeah, somebody out there taking pictures. The Tackett property over on Collier Road, the old Triad building over there, had a couple people stop us. Evidently, we're collecting cars again. We got them sitting like right out next to the road, and then that whole lot's full again. I know we had, they made them move them all one time. Kathy was here.
Yeah, they moved them all to Houston Road,
Yeah,
and
so
then they
that's
get in trouble there, and they move them all back to Collier Road, and then they get in
They got a
trouble. They
bunch
move
of
them all back
them.
to Houston Road.
I think he just moved him from his house in Enid, because they just got on him.
Yeah, there you go.
Now they just moved from Bob White to there, that's where they're going from,
Yeah.
because the village just got on him.
And had a couple people stop me and ask
Okay.
about it, why he's moving it back there.
Yeah.
You know, you get Jimmy Carl to mow his grass, and then that guy moves all the cars back. So,
Jimmy actually mowed his grass.
yeah, it's kind of amazing.
Did the backyard too.
Well, it's an odd year. And that usually when he mows it, doesn't he mow his grass on the odds?
A decade, isn't it? All right, that's really about it for the road. Sorry. Cemetery, we still got mowing going on. I've had some people ask me about trees, if we could start planting some trees up in the new sections. I mean, I don't see any problem with it. Talked to Cooper about maybe getting, some different variety of tree up there. I know that Keith Segerson bought a couple graves and he paid to have a tree planted at the end of his lot. So, but yeah, I mean, most people when they walk up, first thing they say, "Are you guys planting trees?"
And will you lay them out so they're, I was gonna say, you know what to do,
Yeah, and
right?
I don't want evergreens.
Yeah.
Hardwoods.
Hardwoods.
Okay.
I would agree with you there.
Yeah, because I mean, about every evergreen we've got is dying.
Right.
So, okay, I'll get with Cooper and we'll get a definite, I know he's looked at it. It's just a matter of getting a definite plan together, and I'd like to go ahead and get those last two sections, go ahead and get them laid out anyway. Not necessarily start selling them right now, so probably need you to come up and find that boundary between the
Talked about
backyard. I know we had it before, had a cone and everything laid out up there, and ready for him to go.
Gotcha.
So if we get a chance. That's really about it from cemetery. Park, I talked to David, the people that supply our equipment. They said our new swings and everything had been shipped, but that was like on the 18th of June. It must have been on a slow boat from China, I guess, I don't know. But they had been shipped, so we're expecting them to show up any day. We took the mini down there with the flail head on it and stuff, and mowed that bank back and everything down to the creek. Now, Nathan brought up a good point. Do we want to put some kind of signage down there about, water, play at your own risk or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, they should know that.
Well, you would think, but
You think coffee's hot?
Yeah.
Right.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
Think of
have the
something.
ability to make one that says that.
I'll talk to our sign lady and get something made up, see what she's got to say.
Yeah, see what other parks, she probably knows what other parks.
Yeah,
Well,
she's pretty up on everything. She's
Right.
pretty good, giving advice and stuff. Okay, I'll talk to her. But, yeah, they tried to mow it with the 72-inch mower, you got about halfway down, and
Yeah.
a little steeper than they thought it was. So, it's ready to go. And I have for your viewing pleasure, I think there's a copy laying up there next to your briefcase. Trustee Pettit, we are getting swarmed by flying ants and ants all over our garage, in the break room and everything. And this is a contract with Orkin to get sprayed. It's power spray. I guess they go 2 or 3 feet up on the building and then 2 or 3 feet out in the grass. And then 10 cats. I think those are the things that go in the ground to catch, and then bait stations. And it's, for the annual contract, it's $1,828. I mean, we're getting swarmed back there in the back.
You think we need an annual, or you think a one-time deal will do it?
No, because this has been happening for about the last 3 or 4 years. It's just this year is really bad.
It's who we use.
Yeah, that's what the firehouse uses. And then if we do not do the annual, I think that's on the other page, it's like $978. But
The only thing I don't know that I would agree with is if they're putting those in, are they doing termites?
I don't know. I didn't talk to
If that part of it, drop the termite off, because I
I
don't,
think that's what the bait station is, don't they?
yeah, I don't
You go
believe.
to
Well, we got them, so we had to do.
Isn't that building all?
It's
all
steel.
We had other bait stations, which
All
are.
block,
Yeah.
yeah, block and steel.
Yeah.
There's no wood frame in there anywhere.
I mean, just the interior. Wow, I don't even know about that.
They're probably all
We have
steel,
other bait stations.
Steel
I think there might be
steel frame.
Steel stud, yeah.
steel
I'd say
stud.
drop off the termite. And
If they got termite stuff in there, I wouldn't do that. But I don't know. Of course, the bait stations could be for
could be for
ants.
the
also.
ants, it could be.
Yeah, they're probably for ants.
So I say,
also.
I just say if that is the case, because I know termites can be kind of expensive, John knows that.
Yeah, It'd
And
probably be more if it was termites.
if we don't need to,
Yeah, but I think we specifically just looked at the ant problem. I mean, you walk in there in the morning, as soon as you turn the light on, it's just a swarm.
There's 2 pages.
Like I said, the last 2 or 3 years, it's been getting progressively worse.
They come, I think they come for us every month or it's every other month and they check those space stations. Not just the termites, we have ones for rodents and other things. And
Yeah.
they look to see if they have activity, which will mean that they may come back and reapply. I
Right.
think that annual contract gives them the ability to come back and spray more.
Mhm.
Correct. So they're gonna call them and tell them to go? Because I think what they looked at was just specifically the ant problem.
First month.
Yeah, I mean,
I
that's,
don't think there'd be any termite stuff.
no, compared to what we pay at Young's, that's a pretty good price.
Yeah. Just, do me a favor,
So
call them tomorrow, verify what they're what they're after. The bait stations probably are rodents, but there again, sure you have rodents,
Oh, yeah.
but you're not, you're not serving food there, so.
Well, we put bait stations out for ants too, just because you're not gonna get them all when you spray them.
Right. Well, just verify what it's all about. Let us
Okay.
know.
Okay.
And you grab that stuff and take it back.
Yeah, that's really about it.
That's my opinion. What do you think, Bob?
Where are you guys at on the new Horizon Drive pipes?
I think the pipe's finally supposed to show up this week.
Okay.
Are we talking with a paving company about milling that edge down, or are we talking about us digging it out, or what?
And just kind of wait until you get the,
Ditching and everything down? I mean, we're probably gonna get some phone calls about ditches being a little deeper than what they thought. That's just the way it
that's
is.
all right.
Do what we gotta do.
Okay. Anything else for Don? Thank you.
All right.
Howard Township Deputy Brandon Baldwin.
Good evening, everyone. Since the last meeting I was out on the 16th to today's date, 53 calls for service, no criminal arrests, 15 traffic stops, 6 assists, 29 business checks, 70 citizen contacts, and a little over 1,300 miles have been driven. I've got a note here, 3 nuisance properties and/or vehicles have been taken care of in that time frame. I towed 2 abandoned vehicles that were in Holiday Valley, and obviously, as Mr. O'Connor mentioned, they did take care of 7481 Dayton Springfield Road after it was declared a nuisance property at the last meeting. They were given 7 days. It went past the 7-day time frame, so once it went past that, I reached out to Don, let him know they were going to proceed forward with taking care of it. Tonight, I would ask that we declare the Waverly Street property a nuisance. It still hasn't been taken care of, and that homeowner obviously didn't show up to tonight's meeting for the nuisance hearing that he was sent a letter on a couple weeks ago. Other than that, I just have a couple more notes here. The drone is back in service after getting some repairs completed after it was shipped out to the manufacturer. The new Matador Township cruiser is back down at Park Public Safety in Blue Ash for some ongoing wiring issues I've been dealing with ever since I got it. I think finally now, after a couple months, we've figured out what the issue is. So after I touch base with them tomorrow, I'll get them rolling on how to proceed forward after speaking to master technicians on several different things over the course of the past couple weeks. Old Matador Township car obviously is in service, no issues there. I mean, I have a warning light for tire pressure sensor, but it's not a big deal. It drives just fine. Attended the fireworks on the 3rd, no issues there. I actually thought this year's show was pretty good. I thought it was definitely better than last year, so hats off to them for doing a great job out there. And then, of course, participated in the July 4th parade with the fire department, Lieutenant Weiser there, ENPD. Seems like a really good turnout, and it looked like a very good turnout here after the parade. So hats off to everyone that was involved in that. Other than that, I just have a receipt for DGI that I spoke to Mr. Rudy about on the phone before we went out of town to turn to you guys. Other than that, that's all I have.
What can we do with the property on Collier Road with the cars?
If we get involved, it's gonna be very, very, very expensive.
Really?
So I'm gonna touch base with zoning, see if they can get involved in that, because I think that's the avenue that had to be taken with Houston Road.
Okay.
Because if we start towing cars off the property, then we're incurring the bill for
Sure.
storage and all that good stuff.
Sure. Okay.
And half of those vehicles there, if they applied for a junk motor vehicle affidavit, they're not gonna hardly get any money for them. So, because the majority, some of those cars back there, I can remember seeing as a kid on Houston Road,
Mhm.
and then they all got moved. And then some went to Bob White, some stayed on Collier, now some have left Bob White, and now they're showing up there. So anytime I've went out to his house on Bob White, he's never answered the door, but apparently Lieutenant Wise has had good luck with him answering, so.
What's the address on Waverly?
5313, 5214, maybe?
Yeah. 5214.
Yeah, 5214 Waverly.
Well, I make a motion, we declare 5214 Waverly Street in Holiday Valley a nuisance property.
Second,
Mr. Young,
yes.
Mr. Pettit,
Yes.
Mr. McClure, yes.
Can we mow it tomorrow? I get a call about every 4 days.
No, I gotta send another, we gotta do the process by the book, so I gotta
7 more
send
days?
another letter out that they have 7 days now that it's been declared a nuisance by the trustees to take care of it. I go 7 days from when the post office is able to tell me that the letter is gonna be delivered. Tricky thing with that one is it's being delivered to the house, and there's no forwarding address on file. So, that's what I have with it.
So I promised the gentleman I'd call him back tomorrow. He wants us to hire him to mow it. I'm like, no.
No.
Is it an older guy?
Yeah,
He wants screams at me every week.
Yeah.
I mean, he calls me.
he's like, I mean, he's got legitimate complaints.
Oh,
The
yeah.
thistles in the
Yeah.
back are bad, they're getting mice in the house, because we never get mice in the summertime, when you have tall grass, mice show up, so.
That's one more question, Brandon. Is there anything we can do about houses when they don't mow the backyards? There's one on Rocky Point, like about a quarter mile from Fairfield.
Which one on Rocky Point?
I don't know the exact address. It's on the north side. Backyard hasn't been mowed at all this whole year. They mowed the front yard kind of late, let it get a little tall,
Okay.
kind of overgrown
I
looking.
know I normally have to talk to the people that live on the south side of the road.
Yeah, it's not south side.
Southeast, whatever.
Yeah, it's-
Southwest.
Cause I got in an argument with somebody about the rear yard on Joseph,
Mhm.
that it wasn't that bad for a rear yard. Of course, everybody's definition of bad is completely different.
Mhm.
And, yeah, there were some thistles in there, 3-4 foot tall, but not very many. Now, it did get taken care of. One of the relatives showed up and mowed it.
Mhm.
And, but yeah, I'd be anxious to revisit what zoning says about the backyards and things. Cause there's a lot of people that, they don't mow, some people plant wildflowers in the backyard,
Mhm.
just let them grow,
Mhm.
which, and is there a difference between Houston Road versus Joseph Drive? You know what I mean? Because it's a subdivision versus,
I mean, there are subdivision regulations, but you're talking a 685 page document or something the last time I looked at it, which I'm still waiting to hear back from zoning on the camper that's parked at the corner of Westcott and Dayton Road in the front yard. Have yet to get a phone call back on that.
Well, I get a complaint from someone that lives on Houston Road every day about people don't mow their grass on Houston Road. But I'm married to her, so I don't listen to her. Every day,
You're brave.
every day,
That's on, that's on record.
every day.
That's on
What
record.
about that house? Yeah,
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah. There's definitely different definitions of bad. Yeah. Waverly constitutes it being bad.
And the guys, he's been good to me on the phone when I
Yeah.
tell him we gotta go through the process.
Yeah.
Because we want to be able to put it
And
on
I've
the tax.
noticed that the young kid that now lives on the house on Dayton Springfield near Chama, he's slowly chipping away at the backyard. He's trying, but
That's right.
that little push mower, what he's got to Olympia gave so far, but he's trying. I'll give him that.
All right. I'll call that gentleman tomorrow and tell him we're working on it.
7 more days.
I did not get the
Thank you,
opportunity to go by and see if the concrete's moved from there behind. It's supposed to be. It is? Okay, it's supposed to be this week.
No, it was done the next day.
Yeah.
Wow,
That gentleman called me on Saturday and said it was gone.
good deal.
So you went by there on Thursday and you called, because what, our meeting was Thursday night?
Mhm.
And he called me on Saturday and said, thank you, helping us get rid of that concrete. So it was gone Friday. So I was like, oh.
Good deal. I just ran into the right person at Menards.
That works.
We have anything from Houston?
No.
Nothing from Houston, Noah. Fiscal Officer Dave Rudy is not present this evening. He did leave me with a folder of a lot of things to sign. We'll get through that. And I've got a plan sheet here, cover sheet for the Holiday Valley OPWC project that advertised in the paper today.
I was gonna say, I made the paper today. I got a couple phone calls.
I'll get you guys to sign that too.
Okay.
With that,
And we're gonna open those bids
it'll be the next meeting in the morning.
next meeting in the morning.
So, guess we'll move into full business.
Sure. Have you heard anything, speaking of old business, from Bath on Mud Run?
Nothing new.
Nothing? Okay.
I think they're actually probably waiting on me to get a Green County engineer and ask for our estimate. They were working on their estimate. They'd have a price on tree work. It was about double what Buck had.
Buck, yeah.
So I needed to maybe meet Tim out there and just make sure that we looked at all the same stuff. That was the only thing.
Right.
So that's where I kind of am on that. We've got a little time because we're going to be, the submittals are like a month later.
Yeah.
So a little more time than normal. On old business, talking about roads. So remember last time Green Township was looking at doing Mosier and Collier. And I talked to Greta and she would honor the same price that the county got in the big project, $2.20 a square. So our portion, what did I have? It was like around 19,000 to do Shank and Collier. It's around 19. And then you figure our half of Mosier would be like another 6. So just a
25 grand.
pick up that was I rode down there, like Brian was talking about doing some like patch paving or something.
Mosier total was 11.9.
Yeah.
So it'd
So
be 6.
yeah.
Collier, she only priced out their half at
Yeah.
13.3.
So I gave her the 8,900 square yards, which was I think Shank and Collier or something, and she said she'd do the 220. So seemed like the Shank Collier Mosier split was going to cost us around 25,000. She's going to look at Christ Road because I said needs like some pavement repair or patchwork or anything. I wasn't really sure if I really thought our end of Collier Shank needed any work with asphalt. She says that their price is like $168 a ton if we'll give them 100 ton out there. So I mean, I don't really want to spend another $16,000 on Collier and Shank.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Brian, they usually have some rough looking stuff.
They're
just did it.
rougher up there
Yeah.
on,
Like
you know, they had a lot of problems up there around the bike trail.
Yeah.
And there
used to be holes, terrible
was the
holes.
water.
Yeah,
And
When did
they
we do
had,
that last?
they had to do, well,
it's been about 5-6 years.
5-6 years.
So because
they
I know
had-
we did it since I've been
And
here.
how, I think they put over 100 ton leveling on them.
Yeah,
They're
because it
gonna
used to
put-
be awful holes up there.
Cause I think he had 100 and some ton.
So
On
think
their
about
bid.
that. That's another like $17,000.
Right, yeah. it's
I went on my way home today. I rode Collier again. And I was like, I mean, there's a few places that are a little.
I rode it
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah,
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I mean, I just
150 to 200 ton of leveling's $168
Yeah.
a ton. 100 to 150 ton a day is $186.
Yeah. So I think he was hoping we would have some too, because they get their price down a little bit.
Right.
But what I was trying to do is like, maybe we steer that over to Chris Road. She was gonna supposed to have, we have some time on that. If Brian's already turned them loose on their stuff.
Right.
Chris Road, Fowler, none of that stuff really matters about any of that. They're not gonna be really doing any of that until they'll be going until September or something.
Right.
But she was gonna have Matt look at Chris Road and kind of figure out what he thought that would take. I don't know if we could help Green Township at all, like if they were doing that patch paving and took some over to Chris Road.
Yeah.
You know, does it all have to be on Collier? I don't know. I just didn't really feel that our section.
I don't
really
think it's that
warranted
bad.
it. I mean, it really isn't that bad altogether, but it isn't bad just to, stay on top of it and
Yeah.
just hit it again.
No, I'd agree.
So
Yeah,
especially while they're there, and
Um,
her price, that's a pretty good price. I mean, actually it's cheaper than last year. She was
Yeah.
233 last year. So I don't know, something.
I didn't really, other than a few spots there at the woods,
Mhm,
I don't really think I think it just needs to be chip seal.
mhm.
What do you think, Don?
I mean, for the traffic, I think chip seals, you're gonna do that heavy chip seal like we've been doing. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
Do you think it needs it on Collier?
With chip seal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
See, the problem is the berm where the asphalt meets the
Yeah.
berm, there's nothing there.
Breaking down, yeah.
That's where it breaks down and we patch it in. But I think if we keep building it up, we'll be okay.
How'd you get that backside mowed there at Baird's? Did you get on that backside, right?
No, Green Township was down there with their big side on that boy. What's his name?
Ryan.
Ryan. Yeah, he comes down through there and mows
I
it.
wondered, because actually Branson Piles called me today and thanked me for that.
Really?
And I was like,
You're welcome.
because last year Branson's out there weed eating like poison hemlock on our side of the road.
Right.
And
No, he goes like almost all
He
the way down
loves
to
it.
Shank.
he loves it. He
Yeah.
says thank you.
I
So
don't know.
we can pass that
It's
along to
gonna
Ryan.
take
I mean-
him forever to mow with that little 4-foot mower.
Yeah, if that's nice that when Ryan comes down through there, if he'll hit it like that, because that deep ditch or long bear, it's like he got all of it good.
Right.
So we're good.
Yeah, and he's pretty anal, so he's good
He
at
is.
running equipment. He likes to run equipment, and
Yeah.
he's just
He did a nice
patient,
job.
and he's good at it. So
Because I knew you were
They
mowing.
must have air conditioning.
And I was like-
yeah, they got tinted windows too.
I knew Adam would get back there. So that makes sense. But I'll tell Branson that Green Township helped us out. Do we have a motion to proceed with the Shank and Collier?
Yeah, I'll make a
chip seal
motion that we go ahead
and
and
Mosier Road?
Mosier, Shank, and Collier Road.
Second,
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Mr. Pettit?
yes.
Mr. McClure, yes. So I will let Brian, I told Brian or Jay, you can let him know.
Yeah,
So we would
if I remember.
vote on it tonight. We were most likely gonna go along with them. I mean, it really makes sense just to knock it out when they're there on the other side. It was a little bit of cost savings doing it this year versus last year.
I'll
So,
text him as soon as we're done. I'll get busy on those jobs and I'll forget.
as mentioned before, the Holly Valley OPWC project is advertised today for the next 2 weeks and opens at the morning meeting on the 21st. I was holding them up. We've got everything together except for the PDF of the plan set. Was kind of waiting for tonight to get everybody's signatures. Already had 2 calls about it, so that's a good sign. So we'll get rolling on that and maybe hopefully have some good prices here in 2 weeks.
What do we estimate that total job to be?
539,
539.
yeah. So 1/2 of that would come from Public Works. So yeah, no update on Mud Run, but probably maybe next meeting I'll have something on that because I think they're kind of waiting on me.
Anything on the lights up there? Probably nothing on the lights yet either, is there?
Gave them the green light on the lights,
Yeah.
but I've been over there and there's nothing.
Is Mud Run next year's project or is that this year?
It'll be next year's
Yeah.
project. And I took a like 6 high, pretty good size hay wagon tandems yesterday across it, and I was wishing I did not go across it with straw. It was like, and the gears weren't the best, and it was a lot rougher than. So the next time I went up Fowler and out to North Enid, going out to Acton's on Fairfield Yellow Springs. So it'd be nice to get it smoothed up because I bet it beats you up when you plow it. Of course, you don't.
He wouldn't know.
Green or bad township.
Yeah, that takes care of
So
that.
that's probably why they're all for it.
It needs
So-
attention for sure.
Anything on aggregation?
No, not really. Don and I were looking at his electric bill tonight, so I'll be anxious. He's with Edison still, or First Energy. I'll be anxious to see what his July bill is to see if it's gone up like we were told it was going
I thought I was with Dr. G.
to be. So he is not. Somehow.
Did you slip through the cracks and you didn't opt out and still didn't make it? Huh?
Yeah, I even talked to him up at the township show and stood there while they called him.
That's kind of frustrating a little bit, you know. Get all that
Every year I talk to a few people that happens to.
Yeah, we had several last year.
That they did not opt out
Yeah.
and they did not get switched over.
Huh.
So I wonder if that happens, and I'll have to ask some of the other townships if they've had that issue also. So,
Okay. That's probably all we have in old business. So we move into new business. I believe we have the need for executive session now.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know what I should read up there.
I would just read.
is there any new business that you guys can think of right now going on? I guess the only thing I was talking with Dave Rudy a little bit about a couple things, and there was some discussion about paying you for some vacation hours. So we've done that in the past, like Don maxes out on his vacation hours.
Yeah.
And he and David had a conversation about compensating him for.
So don't we have to make a motion
So
on that, or
we
we have
do.
to approve it, or a
We
resolution?
do have to,
Let's prove
he
that.
said,
Is it a resolution?
you just need a motion to pay him for the,
I'll
so
make-
that it's noted in the minutes that we,
I'll make a motion that we pay Don for his, how do you want to word it?
160 hours of, does that sound right?
Vacation,
Unused vacation
unused
time.
vacation time.
Second,
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Pettit?
yes.
Mr. McClure, yes. Okay. Let's see, we got a couple zoning things coming up. You guys were listening on the gentleman on Fowler Road with concerns on, with the wooded lots there. And well, the more I think about it, I mean, there is a good drainage pattern that comes through there. And after they did those lots on Tecumseh Road, we knew that drainage struggled, and they both have like aeration systems pumping into the John Barton's old woods across the road. And that guy calls all the time complaining about that. So, I mean, that's a wet woods that was always woods. If Mr. Ferryman ends up dealing with aerators discharging through the culvert pipe, like that's a problem. We can't have that. So, I mean, I think like I'm not a fan of like saying you can't build houses, because I just don't want houses. If you can't build houses and have some kind of leach field or whatnot, and if it's the septic system's gonna discharge water too. I mean,
Or if you
that's-
have some kind of a retention pond or detention, whatever you want to call it, whichever one it would be a retention pond. But is somebody going to spend that money,
Well, and that's the thing. I don't know if we have a lot of leverage on that, but we would have some health department type leverage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a wet woods too. I mean,
Yeah.
It's
Right.
probably not going to pass for septic system.
Right.
So, I mean,
I
what
mean, it's
is,
frustrating. I have one being pumped onto my property and they told me there's nothing I can do about it.
so, I mean,
I've got a half acre wetlands,
yeah. Yeah, that's not fair. So
That's
imagine,
my field.
imagine if that was right coming right into your front yard.
Right, coming through.
I mean, that pipe does
At
go
least it's
right.
back where I don't
Yeah.
have to smell it or see
It's
it.
still bad, but
it's,
that's what he's, you know.
But I can
concerned.
understand his issues if it's gonna come right down through his front yard, because that's where the drainage goes.
I mean,
And without us going back in the woods and seeing where they're gonna put it, seeing which direction it's gonna go.
That whole thing, but it drains more than that 27, doesn't it?
yeah,
It drains like 30
that
or
size
40
of a
acres.
pipe, I thought it was like almost 40 acres coming through there.
40, yeah.
So it's all
There's quite a
coming,
bit,
so it's
yeah.
all coming that way.
All coming down, yeah, for sure.
I
So
thought maybe some of it was going east.
Not
It,
even east is coming out.
there's like a grade break there, because if you recall, there's a big culvert. I'm trying to think for a minute. There's some drainage in it that goes through and goes down through Dana's, like down in the Dave
Right,
Shanks and
right,
stuff.
through
That's what some are just split, but it, I mean, it's a good sized pipe, and that all runs down Cemetery, and I mean, I definitely get some more information and follow up with Mr. Fairman, but that's really all I have. And then Jeff Wise, you would like to speak?
No. I can't speak. You gonna throw me out?
Wait, you didn't sign that.
No signature up there.
So I'm here for two reasons. One, I've been working with the school district with the transportation. We are wanting to do a mock school bus crash on August the 13th. It's gonna be from like 9 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon. But we're wanting to close down a portion of Fowler Road for that crash. Close it down from the section between River Pike and Fairfield Pike, except for the houses that are in there. I spoke with Nathan, and Don was somewhat involved, but they don't have a problem doing it as long as you guys don't have a problem with us shutting it down for the afternoon. We're gonna put a school bus on its side in the ditch to give the fire department and schools and the law enforcement a more realistic training experience. And of course, we're gonna do a one call with the sheriff's office to let everybody know, and then the village is gonna put it on their website to make sure everybody knows that it's going on and that it's not an actual incident.
Gotcha.
What day is the 13th?
It's on a Wednesday.
Okay, Wednesday.
Yeah, it's on a Wednesday, and I talked to Neil King, whose property we're gonna be using. He doesn't have a problem with us doing it. We're gonna put tarps down so that the glass doesn't get into the field. So we're looking at doing a school bus and a vehicle involved. But we're gonna invite the different school districts in the area if any of their drivers wanna come over. As well as all of the sheriff's office SROs are been advised of it and bringing them. So I just wanted to check with you guys and see if you had a problem with this shutting down Fowler Road for
I
a
think,
morning.
me personally, I'd like to run it by our county engineer,
Yeah, I'd like a little time if you don't mind. I'd like
Yeah.
to run that by a couple people as
Yeah.
well.
and then, I mean, I don't know, I probably personally don't have any issues with it. There wouldn't be any environmental concerns. We're not gonna have any fuel or anything.
No, the buses, Dan's Towing's bringing the bus out to
Okay.
drain all the fluids out of it. They'll lay the bus on the side. And then once the training's done, then they come out and clean everything up and tow the bus away.
Okay. Well, how about, you said it was August 13th?
August the 13th, yeah, that's
It's a
the
Wednesday
bus
afternoon?
drivers, yeah, that's the bus drivers in service.
I gotcha. I'll get something back pretty quick, and we'll bounce it around a little bit here and see what, I mean, it's probably not a big deal. I just, yeah, I'd just sooner run it by them, just because, I mean, that you're down there close to that Robert interchange, and it's been a kind of a mess there
Hot spot
lately.
anyways,
It
yeah.
really has, but I can't speak for him. He probably won't have any issue with it, but I'd just like to run it by
Okay.
county engineer, and then we'll get back with you
Okay.
pretty quick. We won't waste a lot of time on it. So,
And the second reason is I'm coming for a donation for National Night Out, which is August the 5th. down at Eden Park, which I think Brandon's gonna be involved in that. So, we're just looking for a donation to kind of help subsidize the cost of the village is paying.
That's August 5th. What's that day?
That is a Tuesday. It's the first Tuesday in August, and it's from 6 to 9. Ben, is that right? You know,
Have we ever done it?
National Night Out. I don't know if they've ever come to you and asked for it.
I don't know.
Or not.
No,
I know the
for-
village is paying, it's about $3,500 is what we've got into it.
Okay,
So, but it's a community event.
yeah.
They haven't had it since they built the new school, have they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had it
down
down.
there.
It's-
They
it's
quit
down
at the
down
park.
in the
They
park.
quit doing it for COVID for a few
Yeah,
years.
because of the
Yeah.
park last year.
Yeah, last year was at the park, yeah.
It seemed to be pretty good at the park, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty nice.
The big storm rolled in right at the end.
Right at the end and soaked everybody.
Huh.
Uh,
What'd you say it cost the village? 3,500?
I think we got about 3,500 in it.
Okay.
We've got
I got an idea.
we have a fund for that, but to ask Rudy what we got in it.
Yeah.
We got a fund for
We
it.
donated a little bit of money to one of the youth organizations.
That's right.
The fireworks, obviously. So,
How much do you want? Put you on the spot.
Again,
All
beggars,
you can get.
beggars can't be choosers. So,
34.99.
yeah.
whatever you can do.
Well, we may wait till next meeting because Rudy will be
That's an
here.
idea.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
check with him and just,
Yep.
we'll have something back here pretty quick.
All right, sounds good. to me.
Okay, Joe.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff.
Is there any other new business to discuss?
Listen.
We'll read that.
See the need to go to executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or office official.
Second.
There's no other, yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Mr. Pettit,
Yes.
Mr. McClure. It's 8:26. We'll move in executive session. I don't know if there'll be any business after, but you just have this one deed. You got it all signed here except for Dave. You want to take that one?
Folder there that goes with the roof.
Okay. This just goes to him. Yeah.